I love fresh herbs, but it's hard to use them all in just one recipe. And even after a day or two in the fridge, they can look pretty sad. Here's how to get fresh herbs to last longer. The trick is to treat those herbs like fresh cut flowers. First, I like to pick off any leaves near the bottom of the stem and use those up first. Trim off about ½ an inch from the bottom of the stem. Now these go in a jar of fresh water. You only need a little bit of water, just enough to cover those stems about an inch. I like to repurpose these produce bags, just cover to retain moisture. Now these herbs are ready to be stored in your fridge. Replace that water every few days and these herbs will stay looking fresher longer. This method works perfect for leafy herbs like mint, cilantro, and parsley, even green onion. For basil, just keep this on your counter. It doesn't like cold temperatures. Ah, it smells so good. I love the smell of basil. There's nothing wrong with a simple iced tea, lemonade, or juice. But sometimes I'm just feeling wild and want to make things interesting. Here's a simple way to make your drinks more interesting. The solution for bland beverages and cocktails is simple syrup. All it takes is sweetener, water, and a few surprises to kick things up. You can use the sweetener of your choice, even alternative sugars. It doesn't get any easier than equal parts sweetener and water. Heat this on your stovetop over medium to low until everything's dissolved. Even though the process is easy, you can infuse complex flavors. I like to flavor simple syrups with citrus, chilies because I love all things spicy, a variety of herbs. I've got some mint, thyme, tarragon, rosemary, even sage. And hard spices like cinnamon sticks, star anise, and cardamom. This is how I like to make a simple agua fresca, just some fresh fruit juice mixed with a simple syrup. You don't need to let this come to a boil, just until all that sugar's dissolved. Be extra careful when working with hot sugar. This is where the magic happens. While these are still hot, you can infuse it with whatever flavors you want. Use your imagination. I'm gonna make a spicy syrup with serrano chilies and a little bit of thyme. Let this sit and infuse until the syrup is cool. I love cardamom. Just be sure to crush it up before you add it to the syrup. My favorite part is using different ingredients to make really surprising and interesting flavor combinations. If you're using citrus, it's best just to use the peels and use the juice separately. Now for some strainer things. Once everything's cooled down, just strain it into a container. If you're making multiple flavors like me, you might want to label these. Use your syrups when you're making fresh juices, mocktails, cocktails. Just consider what flavors would pair well together. I like making homemade iced tea, but then that syrup makes things interesting and complex. I'm a big coffee fan too, and this is exactly how you make your own syrups. I'm using my cardamom syrup, but cinnamon or vanilla works great too. These syrups really are the simplest way to upgrade flavors in about any drink. I'll have to clean this up later, but cheers. Let me know how you like it. If you have fresh herbs in your refrigerator, time's ticking. They can pack a lot of flavor, but they don't have great shelf life. But there's some sage advice you can use to preserve your herbs. Here's how to use your freezer for lasting flavor. Ice is cool and all, but it really has no taste. So tasteless. Ice cube trays, on the other hand, can be packed with flavor. This will be the perfect vessel to store and preserve herbs in the freezer. Strip your herbs from the stem, you can chop them or leave them whole. You can keep the herbs separate or do a mixture. To keep these delicious herbs protected in the freezer, you need olive oil. Just enough to cover. I love an ice cube tray with a lid. It makes storing and stacking way easier. Basil and parsley are a bit more delicate, so store basil as pesto, or I like to make scampi butter out of parsley. You just need softened butter, add in your parsley, a ton of minced garlic, lemon zest. The juice gets away with it every time. Oh, there we go. Sprinkle of salt. Mix that all together and load up that tray. Butter can only get better with garlic. I'm gonna fill the rest up with pesto. Once these are frozen, you can pull out individual portions, throw them into pasta, seafood, whatever you want. Just pop this in your skillet to add extra flavor. An ice cube tray is a great way to freeze and save individual portions of stock or your favorite sauces. Keep your cubes stored airtight and they should last 3 to 4 months. This deliciousness will be waiting for me right in the freezer. Once they're solid, you can save space by transferring them to a freezer bag. Just remove the air and label it. Perfect little blast of flavor. You can put the cheddar aside and get your money's worth from your box grater. Let's use that box grater for more than cheese. With all these sides, your grater is made for more than just one thing. One thing I love, a simple rustic tomato sauce just with the grater. Always watch those knuckles though. And you can even mince garlic, no knife skills required. Quickly slice vegetables like cucumbers. These are such thin slices, little shavings. Now you may have hesitation when it comes to your grater, but just remember to use control and go slow, especially when your fingers get close to those blades. This rough grating side is good for hard spices like cinnamon or nutmeg. And don't forget the classic trick of simply stripping herbs. In through one of the slots and gently pull. The next time you reach for a knife, maybe this is grater instead. I use dried herbs all the time, and they are great in a pinch, but a countertop garden is gonna give you fresh herbs all year round. Look at all this thyme, cilantro, and rosemary. Beautiful herbs. There's no soil at all, just fill that reservoir with water. Add in some liquid nutrients, and watch that garden grow. And look at those roots, so healthy. What's great about herbs is you just harvest what you need and they'll keep growing back. And unlike store-bought herbs, these will stay healthy, hydrated, and fresh. Herbs are slow to start, but once they get established, you'll have more than you need. So just be patient. This is about 2 months of growth, and there's still room for more. What do you think I should plant next? The light is automatic, it's self-watering, so this hydroponic system is low maintenance. Just be sure to raise that light as the plants grow taller. As with any garden, it's best to grow what you love. This is great for all you home cooks out there. The flavor difference is gonna be night and day. Now that's what I call garden to table. Whoa, nature is so cool. Do you have herbs that you just let die and go to waste? This is the easiest way to dry and make those herbs last. Let's start by stripping our herbs. You wanna just get all those flavorful herbs off the stem. Do this before those herbs dry out and turn brown to get a second life out of them. If your tender herbs are a little wilty, this is the perfect process. Just dry them out. It's okay to keep some of those smaller, more tender stems, but get those woody stems out of here. Dry your herbs individually. Different herbs are gonna take slightly different times. I'm gonna lay these out on a clean kitchen towel, but you can also use paper towels. Sandwich it, and we're ready for the microwave. Keep your power level on high, and we're gonna do 30-second burst. I'm gonna toss them around so that they start drying evenly. Let's try another 30 seconds. Starting to feel more brittle. Now we're gonna reduce those increments to 15 to 20 seconds. You know those herbs are ready when they're super brittle and snap apart. Surprisingly, the microwave's gonna do a great job at preserving color and flavor. This is hands down the simplest method for DIY dried herbs. Still beautifully bright green. Do you have one of these at home? Bonus points if you do. I have a spice jar, but any small airtight container will do. Just gonna break these up with my fingers. They're good to go. Extra bonus points if you have a funnel at home. Your dried herbs will last you several months when kept cool, dry, and out of sunlight. The fresh is a lot sweeter. So many recipes call for bay leaf, but what does it even do? Bay leaf is supposed to add a subtle complexity to your recipes, but I wanted to put that to the test. What does it taste like on its own? Now, there's different types of bay leaf. You can find more premium bay leaf that is still green and vibrant, even though it's dry. This is California bay leaf. This is fresh bay leaf. You can get this in the refrigerated section. This Turkish style, these smaller leaves, the more darker brown. This is the bay leaf I remember growing up with. Now, let's get to steeping. Fresher bay leaves are of course gonna have more flavor, more aroma. So if your bay leaf has been sitting in the cabinet for a year, probably not bad, but it probably is very weak. This is California bay leaf. With this bay leaf, I'm getting even a little like licoricey, a bit of anise, so a little bit of bitterness. Now this is the fresh bay leaf. There is a much deeper, stronger flavor with the fresh bay leaf because it's fresh. It's gonna have a lot more of those oils and compounds in it. I would say more vanilla-y with a little bit of like pepper. Like there's a little bit of spice in this one. Okay, last one, our Turkish bay leaf, the one that had the strongest, most distinct aroma. This one's a lot grassier, a lot more lemony. People usually dismiss bay leaf like it's not doing anything in a recipe, but it really is. It's very subtle. That subtlety can make a big impact. If you've been skipping bay leaf because you think it's hocus pocus, I recommend adding it. It'll elevate your dish.